They hear the one phrase, the one mini phrase out of the whole thing that a prospect says that could be a buying statement that says that they're going to buy. And then you just start barfing, vomiting all over them. And you start telling them how great you are and how your service is the best. And who is that focused on, your prospect or you? So people don't always have to fully like you, but they do need to trust that you're going to give them the best advice. And that only happens when you become a great listener. You're fully engaged. You're fully emotionally there for your prospect. And you keep it on your prospect the entire time. We've been taught to build rapport and find commonalities. Use the forward questions. And if that's all you got, it's better than nothing. But it's not the best way. Hey, welcome back. My name is Vikram Deol. Today I want to talk about the conscious communication method and the first part of it, which is conscious listening. And there's 5 levels of conscious listening. Most real estate agents, right? Most salespeople live in the first, second, maybe the third level of conscious listening. And the problem with that is that if you are not a conscious listener, you cannot be a conscious communicator. If you're not a conscious communicator, you are going to leave money on the table. One of the top agents, right? One of the top agents that I used to mentor with knew everything about every home in the neighborhood that she serviced. And I'm talking, it was a large neighborhood because she's been selling real estate for longer than I've been alive for. You know, she's in real estate sales for almost 50 years in a very small neighborhood. She is what I would call an argumentative seller because she had such a vast knowledge and she had such a big brand and she had sold so many thousands of homes and hundreds of millions and actually billions of dollars in real estate. Everybody knew who she was, but not everybody used her. And as the market became more competitive and as the internet came on, people started to use other agents and she went from being the number one dominant agent in the neighborhood to losing market share. Now, it didn't mean that she still didn't have the best year after the best year after the best year. Obviously, price inflation helped with that, but she wasn't the dominant agent like she used to be 10 years ago. And I believe the one reason why is because she was kind of what I would consider myself was an argumentative seller, right? I was arguing with the client because I knew what was best for them and I wanted to tell them everything. But instead, I had to learn, right? Because I was the puppy going up against the big dogs. And some of you might feel that. Some of you might be the big dogs and you're wondering, hey, I'm making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, but I'm not growing or I'm not getting the sales that I used to, or it's getting harder, not just because of the market, but the consumer's different. And the reason why is because you guys are not consciously listening. And you're not using the conscious communication method. So level 1 listening, right? What's level 1 listening? What's the first phase of listening? Well, it's pretend listening. And this is where I think 90% of real estate agents, maybe 85, but I'd probably say 90% of agents fall into. They pretend like they care. They pretend, right? They pretend like they're listening, but in reality, you're just trying to get through the script. You're trying to get through the questions. In fact, most agents that I train and that I've worked with expect rejection, right? Most agents expect rejection. Even the top agents, like, Vic, I don't want to cold call. I'm like, why? I love cold calling. Like, tell me why, I love cold, but I don't say that because I don't want to interject, but I'm like, tell me a little bit more about why don't you like to cold call? I'm like, oh, well, it's hard. We're going to get rejected. We say the same thing that everybody else in our office says. It's a lot of work, right? They don't want to get the rejection, right? Their ego gets in the way and then they do the phone call. I'm like, well, let's just role play a phone call. And they do the phone call and they're going through the call so fast without listening to what I say, without asking any deeper probing questions, right? Because they're not listening consciously, they can't go into the conscious questioning, which will actually get them the answers that they want. So level 1 is pretending, right? We're just pretending. We're not paying attention. We're not really there mentally. We're there physically, But mentally, we're just trying to get through the script, or we're just thinking, oh my God, Vikram said I got to make 100 calls, I have 15 conversations. Let's just get through this shit and be done with it. And you're not really there. The second is what we call selective listening, right? And real estate agents are great at this. Salespeople are great at this. They hear what they want to hear. They hear the one phrase, the one mini phrase out of the whole thing that a prospect says that could be a buying statement. And I love you real estate agents, but the real estate mindset is attack, 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 pounce, pounce, pounce. You guys, this is not a gazelle and you are not a lion. All right. Selective listening is where you listen to the one or two phrases that says that they're going to buy, and then you just start barfing, vomiting, and diarrhea all over them. And you start telling them how great you are and how your service is the best and blah, 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 blah. Who is that focused on? Your prospect or you? Me, 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 me. So selective listening is where you're kind of part of the conversation, but you're only part of the conversation to the extent that they say something you're interested in hearing, so that then you can pounce on them and tell them how you should help them buy a house, or you should be their listing agent. And they're like, whoa, you're trying to sleep with me. You haven't even taken me out on a first date, right? Like, let's slow the process down, y'all. Let's use some dating analogies here. If you walk up to somebody at a bar and you say, hey, you're pretty, and they smile, you say, let's go home and have sex, they're probably not going to say yes. And if they do say yes to you, they're probably not the client you want, right? So let's slow the process down. Number 3, the third phase is what I call attentive listening. Attentive listening is where you are more present, you are slowing down, right? You are listening, but we think we know the answer. And because we think we know the answer, we tell the prospect versus asking and letting the prospect tell us. Here's an example. You're talking to a prospect, they say they want to move, and they tell you they want to move because their kids are getting older. The first agent, the pretend agent's like, oh, you want to move? Let's go. Let's get in a car. Let's go look at houses, right? They don't hear anything, or they talk, the first agent actually, the first agent, the pretend agent, the person says they want to move and they don't even hear the prospect saying that. You guys, I'll give you a live example. I was listening to a phone call that my partner Cody had with one of his agents. And the woman on the other end of the phone said to the agent, and this was an agent that's doing 7 figures, I got about 15 minutes that we can chat, but if it's going to be longer than that, I'm going to need to reschedule this call with you. Like, I'm going to need to schedule a call with you, and I'm going to need to put it in my calendar. Now, in 15 minutes on a first initial call, you can get a lot of information. You can capture the appointment, right? You don't need more than 5 to 7, 10 minutes to get through your questions, build a beautiful bond, and use the conscious communication method. You know what this agent said? Because he was so into what he was doing and he was so not committed to listening. He's like, oh, no problem. Here, what I'll do is I'll have my assistant get back to you. We'll put a different time on the calendar, and then I can talk to you. And she was like, I have a few minutes right now. He's like, no. It's totally fine. Now, he might have been super busy, but if he was super busy, he shouldn't have been on the phone calling people. The woman said she had time, right? He was pretend listening. He was already on to his next activity. Selective listening, right? This is where the buyer says, oh, we want to buy a home because the kids are getting bigger. All the agent hears is, oh my God, you want to buy a home? Diarrhea of the mouth. Phase 3 of listening is attentive listening. And this is where when the prospect says to you, they want to move because the kids are getting bigger, you say, oh, I can totally understand that. My kids are bigger too. And when they got to a certain age, we knew that we needed a bigger home. You guys are probably at that point as well, right? And the prospect says, yeah, we are. And you're like, great. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? You completely negated everything that they were about to tell you or potentially could have told you because you went into me. And instead of you spending that extra few minutes asking deeper questions, building the gap, building the problem of what's wrong with their current home, you just went straight into, hey, I can help you. I understand. And that's better than level 1 and 2 but it's still not the best. Level 4 is what we call empathetic listening, right? And here you're really trying to understand, but you probably just don't have enough skills, right, to do the conscious questioning, the conscious communication. You probably just don't have the right framework, right? But here you're really trying to understand what the prospect is saying. You're engaged. You're not looking at your cell phone. You don't have notifications coming in from Instagram, right? You're there with the prospect on the phone call or in real life, so close to the level 5 active listening, right? Active conscious listening, but you're just a little bit off. And this is where, the prospect tells you that they want to move and you ask, oh, tell me more about your kids. Why is it important? Why now? Right? And then when they're about to tell you like the last most important thing, you're like, oh, I totally get it. I was there too with my family. And you change the dynamic from being fully on the prospect 100% to being on you, right? So you were so close, but if you can get to level 4, you guys, I guarantee you will increase your business. You will probably double, if not triple your business over the next 12 to 24 months, right? Because you're competing against level 1 and level 2s, right? So it's really not even a competition, right? When you get to level 4 communication, that's when people trust you, right? That's when they feel like, wow, this person's really in my corner, right? Everybody says, oh, know, like, and trust. Well, it's actually, they got to trust you, right? They got to trust you. I have had clients that didn't like me, but they trusted me, right? They knew that I was always going to give them the right advice. They knew that I was always going to be straight with them. They knew that I was going to listen. Even if I was in the shower, I had Post-it notes, right? You go on Amazon and you can get water notes, and I would take notes. They're like, are you in a car wash? I'm like, no, I'm in the shower. They're like, why are you on the phone? I'm like, I got a notepad in here. Like, it's no problem. Like, why not take care of 2 things at once? I'm like, I'm not going to do a FaceTime with you right now. Like, that's going to cost you extra, and we would have fun with it. I'm like, but let's talk about what's going on. They're like, you are the wildest person we've ever met. And I'm like, do you not trust me? They're like, no, we totally trust you. Like, who picks up their phone in the shower? I was like, I do. Like, you're weird. We don't know if we like you, but we trust you, right? So people don't always have to fully like you, but they do need to trust that you're going to give them the best advice. And that only happens when you become a great listener. The 5th level, right? Conscious listening, right? This is where you're fully active. You're fully engaged. You're fully emotionally there for your prospect. And you keep it on your prospect the entire time. As agents, we've been taught to build rapport and find commonalities. Use the forward questions. And if that's all you got, great. It's better than nothing, but it's not the best way. It's, in fact, super old. It's 30 years old, 40 years old. And let me tell you, if I was the same person I was at 10 or at 15 or at 20 today, I would not like the man I had become. So thank God I kept evolving. Thank God you can too. When we become fully active, right? When we become fully active, now we are using our full range of communication. We're using tonality. We're using pauses. We're using our body language. We're using our eyes, right? We're using our facial expression. We're dropping our tone or we're raising our tone. We're asking questions. We're being curious, but we're keeping it on the prospect. We're keeping it on their needs. You guys, when you do this well, I have clients that get off the phone and they send me messages. Oh my God, Vikram, I just had a 15-minute, 20-minute, 25-minute conversation. And I'm like, okay, tell me why is it so long? Well, when you start out, you're very excited, right? And you're using all the tactics, the people are talking to you, you get super engaged. And they go, they told me everything. I'm like, what do you mean? They told me everything. I don't know what that means. Can you help me out here? Can you unpack that? They told me why they were moving. They told me about their family. They told me about fights. They told me about arguments. They told me about how they almost got divorced. They told me that there are so many things. And I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. Is this something new to you? Like, nobody ever tells us anything. Like, we're always like, hey, how many bedrooms? 3 beds, 2 baths. Okay, great. What's your time frame? Oh, we're in no rush. Like, they just blew us off. And then we try to follow up. And we know what happens when you have a transactional conversation. You get a transactional follow-up. Oh, we're not interested. Oh, we're going to wait. Oh, the interest rates. Oh, this. Oh, that. The market, the economy. The same thing that has been said for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you are going to get. So the first part of becoming a conscious communicator is becoming a conscious listener. And when you can get to level 4, right, even at level 3, you're going to start seeing huge changes, right? Because you're actually conscious, right? You're actually attentive. But when you get to level 4 and then you grow to level 5, you will see that people call you for everything. Before they buy toilet paper, they're going to call you. Hey, Vikram, you told me not to make any purchases without calling you. Yeah, what are you buying? Well, we're going to Costco, and our bills are going to be like $1,100. Is this abnormal for you guys? No. Okay, then that's cool. Like, just don't go out and buy a car. Oh, okay, cool. So we're good. We're not going to mess up our mortgage. No, you're good. Okay. We just wanted to check with you because we trust you. Okay, yeah, no, you're good, you guys. I appreciate you calling. You're good. Like, just don't make any abnormal purchases between now and the close of your house. Don't go buy the furniture. Order it. Don't buy it though, right? Put it on layaway, whatever you need to do, but don't pay for it. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Vic, do you mind if we call you again? I'm like, no, you're cool, right? And they call you about everything because they trust you, because they know that you are paying attention to everything they say. And you say your response in a way that doesn't make them feel stupid. It makes them feel safe and secure. And they want that because this is a big choice. If we can raise your level of questioning and listening and tonality and facial expressions and body language, you will see your sales skyrocket. And you'll go from making a couple of $1,000s a year to making 100 or 200 or 500 or even 7 figures. Be a conscious listener, crush it, have fun. Peace.